Hi, I'm Bobo. Last week, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority reported that negative equity cases in Hong Kong rose to 32,000 during the first quarter. Eddie Yue, chief executive of the authority, said that although property prices rose slightly by 1.1% in March, there was still a 1.8% decline in the first quarter, hence leading to an increase in cases. As property prices stabilize, it's hoped that the number of cases will also stabilize. Looking back at the latest data from March, the private residential property price index rose to 305.7, marking a 1% increase month-on-month and halting 10 months of consecutive decline. However, with anticipated US interest rate cuts delayed and several new projects launching at lower prices, the secondary market is likely to face ongoing pressure, potentially keeping property price increases modest in the near term. Meanwhile, the secondhand market showed signs of revival. According to data from the Land Registry, the number of secondhand private residential property transactions registered in April rose 1.01 times to 4,604, a three-year high, a reflection of the market's performance in March. As for the new private residential projects, there were 3,619 transactions recorded, reaching a peak not seen in over 17.5 years. Furthermore, revenue surpassed the 40 billion Hong Kong dollar mark for the first time, totaling 44.29 billion Hong Kong dollars, the highest monthly figure in nearly 29 years. Despite the notable increase in transactions, the uncertainty surrounding interest rate trends and a surplus of unsold inventory from new projects have led developers to adopt a pragmatic pricing approach. This is particularly evident in rail-linked projects, which are becoming more affordable. Developed by Sun Hung Kai Properties and the MTR, the YOHO Hub 2 at the Yuen Long MTR station has released its first price list for 188 units. The average price per square foot after discounts is about 14,300 Hong Kong dollars. This marks a reduction of about 28% from the first batch of the YOHO Hub Phase B units launched in late December of 2021, returning to the price levels seen roughly 7 years ago with Grand YOHO Phase 2 at the same location. The market responded enthusiastically, prompting the developer to release an additional 94 units last Saturday, covering 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom units, with discounts up to 15.5%. After discounts, prices for 2-bedroom units start at about 6.84 million Hong Kong dollars, with an average price per square foot of about 15,000 Hong Kong dollars, nearly 10% higher than the initial batch. However, some developers are confident, noting the project's unique offering of medium and small-sized units in the area, thus seeing no need for low-priced promotions. Another project set to launch is Giardini, developed by CITIC Pacific. Located on Tai Hang Road, the project offers 114 units with layouts ranging from 2 to 4 bedroom and sizes from 434 to about 1,700 square feet with featured units. This Thursday, 78 units will be put out to tender. Currently, these are available exclusively under a construction period payment plan without immediate supply or early transaction incentives. Last week, the US Federal Reserve announced that it would keep interest rates unchanged. This coincided with the first Labor Day Golden Week following the removal of cooling measures. Despite continuous heavy rain, these factors did not dampen the sales of new projects, with about 241 transactions recorded in the first-hand market. The second round of sales for the On Man Tin Phase 2B project in Ho Man Tin began last Saturday. Rainy weather extended the sales event to 2 days. Ultimately, 202 units were sold, representing over 80% of the available inventory. Notably, one major buyer acquired 6 units for about 65 million Hong Kong dollars. Including sales from Phase 2A, On Man Tin has sold 504 units in 11 days, generating over 6.2 billion Hong Kong dollars, the developer reported. In contrast, the secondary housing market faced significant pressure last weekend, being dampened by poor weather, with the market focus shifting to new developments. Notably, transactions in Hong Kong's top 10 blue-chip housing estates range from only 2 to 8 units, with some units recording no deals. Meifu Sanchun in Lai Chi Kok emerged as a relative hotspot with at least 4 transactions. Despite this activity, not all sales were profitable. For example, an upper-floor 3-bedroom unit measuring 626 square feet sold for 6 million Hong Kong dollars, following a 500,000 Hong Kong dollar price reduction. Its per square foot price, just under 10,000 Hong Kong dollars, mirrors the rates from 2016 when it was originally purchased for 6.26 million Hong Kong dollars. After holding the property for 8 years, the owner faced a loss of 260,000 Hong Kong dollars, representing a depreciation of approximately 4%. With fewer competitively priced secondary listings on the market, eager buyers are quick to purchase appealing units, often paying the full price to secure their preferred properties. At Lohas Park's Montera Tower 2B, a mainland buyer acquired a high-floor, sea-view, one-bedroom unit for 5.85 million Hong Kong dollars for his daughter. Given that similar units rent for nearly 17,000 Hong Kong dollars per month, and considering the attractive return, sea view, and the building's newness, the owner reduced the selling price by 150,000 Hong Kong dollars following negotiation to about 15.8 Hong Kong dollars per square foot. Despite this, the original owner incurred a loss, having purchased the unit in 2019 for about 6.1 million Hong Kong dollars, resulting in a book loss of about 327,000 Hong Kong dollars, or roughly 5% depreciation over 5 years. In the same district, a mid-floor, two-bedroom unit in Wings at Sea Tower 3A, measuring 540 square feet and a southeast-facing open view, originally bought for 9.83 million Hong Kong dollars in 2019, was listed at 7.98 million Hong Kong dollars last March. After a 300,000 Hong Kong dollar reduction, it sold for about 7.7 million Hong Kong dollars, or roughly 14,000 Hong Kong dollars per square foot. Holding the property for over 5 years, the seller lost 2.15 million Hong Kong dollars, a nearly 22% depreciation. For more information on the secondhand market, stay till the end of this video for this week's recap of secondhand transactions across each district. That's all for this episode. See you in the next.